Hello students, how are you all? I hope everybody fine. We were learning the lesson, the Earth, our living planet. You learnt the previous topics. So what are the different names of the Earth? You learnt about shape of the Earth, the latitudes and the longitudes and water bodies of the Earth. Latitudes and the longitude, just you learnt about the introduction of the topic. So let us learn today's new topic about the latitudes. So previous introduction I gave. So let us start today about the latitudes topic. When I was explaining the introduction, you learned that how we can understand with the help of latitude exact place, exact location, how much duration, how much distance is there, everything we can learn with the help of latitudes and the longitudes. Let me explain today the latitudes. From the help of this one, how you can find the distance. Let us start today's topic, latitudes. Latitude is an imaginary line which joins all the places which have the same angular distance north or south of the equator. Let me repeat again, children. Latitude, listen carefully. Latitude is an imaginary line which joins all the places which have the same angular distance north or the south of the equator. So latitude is a imaginary line. You can observe that it is an imaginary line. So from the north to south, you can see, observe the circle. So this is the equator middle part. If you observe the lines from up to north and if you come to the down, if up to south. So it is an imaginary line which joins have the same angular distance north or the south of everything have the same angular distance if you take north or if you take a south. This is called as an imaginary line. Which is called as an imaginary line? Latitude is an imaginary line. Latitude is an imaginary line which joins all the places, which joins all the places from the same angular distance, which joins all the places and same angular distance if you take north or the south, so it will be having the same angular distance. It is measured in degrees. How it is measured? So everything is measured in the degrees only. All the things, whatever if you observe, I have drawn here one. So you can observe everything is drawn in the degree. So here you can see the only important degree have drawn over here. So not mentioned all the degree, important degree. For example, E here. So equator 0, 23.5 Tropic of Cancer, 66 have Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle you can observe here. So everything is mentioned in the degree itself. So if you mention in the degree, it is easy to understand. That is the reason everything is mentioned in the degree. The equator is 0 degree, is the longest line of the latitude known as a great circle. So already I said that it is measured in a degree. You can observe, children, this is a circle. So this is equator, this is a 0 and it is a longest. This one is a longest. So afterwards each and everywhere you can find that all the places degrees are there. You can find here. So if these are all the degrees you can find. This is a 90 degree and this is a 90 degree. Everything is with the help of a degrees only measured. The equator is 0 and the equator is 0 and it is called as a longest line latitude known as a great circle. Which is the longest line? Equator is a longest line. Which is the longest line, children? Equator is the longest line and it is considered as a 0 degree. Equator is considered as a 0 degree and is the longest line attitude known as a great circle. This is called as a great circle. You should consider it comes one circle. This is considered as a great circle. Which is considered as a great circle means that is a latitude is considered as a, so equator is considered as a great circle. It is equal to circumference of the earth. It is equal to circumference. It is equal to circumference of the earth. Circumference means suttalate. So the distance around. It is equal to circumference of the earth. Idu ಭೂಮಿಯ ಸುತ್ತಳತೆ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸಹ ಇದು ವೃತ್ತಾಕಾರ ಬರೆಯಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿದೆ. So that is the thing which is called as it is equal to the circumference of the earth. The other lines of a latitude of shorter length. So equator is there, children. This is a longest means because it's a complete ಒಂದು ಭೂಮಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಫುಲ್ ಸುತ್ತಳತೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. But remaining other lines or latitudes are shorter length. When you compare to the equator, you can observe here, these are all things are very shorter. Compared to when it goes to up, it is becoming a shorter. The length of the lines of a latitude decrease with the distance from the equator. So when the length it goes, so here only you can understand that. So when the length it decrease, you can observe everything it's become a shorter. You can observe that here everything it become a shorter. When the distance from the equator it goes, everything decrease the length. Everything it is going to be decreased. All lines of a latitude are circles are parallel to the equator. Everything is parallel to the equator. All the latitudes lines, whatever it is there, so it is called as a parallel, and it is also called as a parallels of the latitudes. There are 90 degrees of the latitudes on each side of the equator. There are 90 degrees each side. So you can see that there are 90 degrees of latitudes on each side of the equator. I explained here. So if you take like this, so here 90 degree and here 90 degree, north 90 degree and south 90 degree. Both the side you can observe the 90 degree latitudes. There are 90 degrees of latitudes in each side of the equator. So in the north or the south, you can observe 90 degrees you can observe in the equator, both the side. So north is a 90 degree and south are the points. This is a north point and this is a south point. Both are is equal to 90 degree. 90 degree of north, south and a points. Including the equator, totally there are 181 latitudes including the equator. Actually here 90 degree, here 90 degree means it should be a 180 degree. So even we should add this equator. So even we should add equator, it's 0 is considered, but now also you have to add this. So we have a 181. So we have a total latitudes lines which have 181 degrees. We have how much lines, children? 181 degrees latitudes. We have how much? Here 90 degree north, 90 degree south, plus 1 is a equator. So total it is, so 181 degree is there. Equator. So on the globe, if you observe on the globe, so you can observe, children, 90 degree of the north, south are the points. Including equator, totally there are 181 latitudes including the equator on the globe. On the globe, even 90 plus even this one, 181, you can observe the latitudes which is on the globe. The ground distance between 2 degrees of latitudes is 110.4 kilometers. So the down degrees, in the sense you have to understand, children. So you have drawn the diagram here, you can observe here. So here the equator, so after the equator I have not mentioned everything, only the few important I have mentioned. So 123, so from here to here 110.4 kilometer, from here to here 110.4 kilometer, so from here to here 110, so each and every latitude should observe 110.4 kilometers. You can find each and every latitude from one to another. You can observe each and every latitude should observe 110.4 kilometers. You can find. So I have drawn here one of the important latitudes here. You can observe, children. So equator which has a 0 degree. So first we will read about this is a north 23.5. Tropic of Cancer. The same when it comes to south 23 Tropic of Capricorn. You know, children, Tropic of Cancer, commonly in our India we celebrate as a Makara Sankranti. Actually in India, if you observe, we have the line which passes in India is, that is a Tropic of Cancer. That is considered as a Karkataka Sankranti Vrutta anta karitare. But we not celebrate a Tropic of Cancer, means Karkataka Sankramana Vrutti madala. Makara Sankramana Vrutti means this one is Tropic of Capricorn is considered as a Makara Sankramana Vrutti. That one we celebrate because Uttarayana Punya Kala agirodrinda we celebrate as a Tropic of Cancer, that is a Makara Sankramana Vrutta. So this is a 23.5 Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 Tropic of Capricorn. This is the equator. You can observe here north 66.5. That is Arctic Circle. The same way here, if you observe that 66.5 Antarctic Circle. So this is considered as a 90 degree, which is considered as a North Pole, and this is considered as a South Pole. Means very important. Only the 4 important we are taken here. So Arctic here, south north part if you take equator, Tropic of Cancer, Arctic Circle and North Pole. Here when it comes to south, Tropic of Capricorn, equator, Tropic of Capricorn, then Antarctic Circle and the South Pole. So this is the way the latitude is being explained. In the further class, I'll explain you about latitudes. Then we can understand that how the places are calculated with the help of latitudes and the longitudes. I hope children you have understood this topic. Any doubts regarding this topic, you can ask me in the WhatsApp. I clarify your doubts. Thank you children.